All right, Duskborn is here, and I'm excited to try some of these new cards here. This deck is going to be running Funeral Room and Dollmaker's Shop from the new set. These are the new room enchantment types, and I think that these are going to be a lot of fun to play with, at least if the first games that I played to test this deck were any indication. So with this card, we're basically getting both sides of it eventually if we're able to pay all the mana. Funeral Room, the one that we're likely to use, is basically just a Blood Artist effect. Drains our opponent for life when a creature we control dies. And then Awakening Hall on the other side is just kind of a fringe thing that may benefit us in the end game. For 8 mana, we get to return everything from our graveyard to the battlefield, or at least all the creatures. So with our Marionette Apprentices, Ocelot Pride, Guide of Souls, those are going to be some things that are nice to bring back. Although, this is definitely a deck that doesn't play a high density of creatures. On the other side, we do get to play Dollmaker's Shop and Porcelain Gallery. This is the one that I'm more excited about, and this basically allows us to make a new type of token, a toy. Whenever non-toys attack, we basically get to make one white toy artifact creature token. This will stack if we have multiple Dollmaker's Shops on the battlefield, so it's not a total loss if we draw multiple. What does not stack, on the other hand, is Porcelain Gallery. This is just basically setting all of our creatures' power and toughness equal to the number of creatures we've got. So the game plan basically is to just make a bunch of tokens either through Dollmaker's Shop or through other things, of which we do have a lot of token producing strategies. And then we also just want to flip a Porcelain Gallery towards the end of the game and win over the top of our opponent's heads with a lot of creatures. So let's talk about the creatures that we do actually want to play. Marionette Apprentice, Ocelot Pride, Guide of Souls, pretty good Aristocrats shell as is. We do now get to play with another card that I've been really wanting to bring back to the channel, and that is Bitter Blossom. 2 mana enchantment, basically lose a life, make a 1/1 at the beginning of your upkeep. That 1/1 can be sacrificed to things like Chthonian Nightmare. It can be sacrificed effectively as Meathook Massacre. And then that token can also be the thing that triggers our Dollmaker's Shop because it is a non-toy creature and can attack over most non-flying blockers. So that's pretty good. We're excited to do that. Then we also get to run the engine of Chthonian Nightmare. This is something that's going to absolutely love the Bitter Blossom tokens, the Ocelot Pride tokens, the Marionette Apprentice tokens, and the tokens from Dollmaker's Shop. All of those are really good sacrifice fodder for this, and we'll be able to recur these Marionette Apprentices, Ocelot Prides, and Guide of Souls. So what this deck is going to look like is basically just go wide, go big with Dollmaker's Shop and Porcelain Gallery, and then we run the other angle of going for an Aristocrats kill with a Funeral Room and or Massacre on the battlefield. We'll destroy our whole board and hopefully drain our opponent. With both on the battlefield, it's pretty nice because we can essentially turn each creature into probably like 1 to 3 damage per creature, which is going to definitely kill some people. Notably, Funeral Room and Dollmaker's Shop aren't legendary, so you can have multiple copies and their effects will stack, at least depending on the side you look at. So I think overall I'm going to be really excited to play this Orzhov Room strategy here today. I hope you guys enjoy this as well. And let's just get into round 1 and see what this deck is going to do. This episode of Full Control MTG is brought to you by Patreon and your viewership. If you want to support the channel financially, the Full Control MTG Patreon is the best place to do so. With the Shockland tier, you get access to videos as soon as they are recorded and edited. Don't wait to get your hands on another Full Control MTG deck list. Otherwise, it's your support for the channel that keeps me going. Thanks for being here and enjoy the video. Okay, here we go. This is the first round of Duskborn on the channel. Let's get it. We have Guide of Souls plus Ocelot Pride, and we get to do a Bitter Blossom. I'm very excited for that. Let's start with the Ocelot Pride. This is the quickest way to an Ocelot Pride ascend that I can think of. We'll probably go Ocelot Pride into Bitter Blossom here. We now have an opportunity to either kill the Esper Sentinel and attack with the Ocelot Pride, which I think is going to be my move here. We'll go Guide of Souls and then murder the Esper Sentinel. We will not be paying the tax, so they do get to draw here. But we will be happy to take this Ocelot Pride in and make sure that we get a life gain trigger. All right, so we're off to the races. That's 5 permanents. Should have 7, and then maybe being pretty close to 10 by 2 turns from now. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the case because this Glass Casket will absolutely ruin my Ocelot Pride. We're going to get ready here to do a funeral room pretty soon, but it doesn't really have an effect until we actually have a board. So we'll just get a Godless Shrine here, shock it, and go Bitter Blossom. So with a Guide of Souls on the battlefield, we effectively just get a free 1/1 every turn, which is nice, and an energy. So my opponent now needs to deal with that. And while they do that, I'm going to just drop a Funeral Room, and we'll see how the game goes. Marsh Flats comes down. We've seen just typical control things so far with Glass Casket and some blue-white lands. Marsh Flats might indicate some Esper situation going on here. We do see 2 basics. I wonder if there's going to be a Blue Blood Moon coming down. Okay, Watery Grave probably is not going to mean that that's the case. Oracle of the Alpha. Now we got to worry about Time Walk and getting our hand Time Twisted. We'll go Polluted Delta here, and here is the first room cast on the channel. It's really funny how these things look sideways like that. I will not be attacking here. We will just be sitting back and chilling. So we basically are now okay if they kill the Guide of Souls, because Awakening Hall can eventually get it back. They are reading the card here, which, if you look at it on this screen here, is absolutely enormous. I do not know how they really plan to make the UI breathable after so many little pop-ups can get on the screen. So they're hovered over Bitter Blossom. We might need to worry about some board wipes eventually. They're actually going to exile my Bitter Blossom, which is crazy. All right. So it looks like just Esper control with some sorcery speed. Well, not sorcery speed necessarily, but they will be playing at sorcery speed with all these instants. If we get one more creature, our Guide of Souls can start to attack. I'm likely just putting something on the cat so it can trade with the Oracle. We'd like to see a Dollhouse pretty soon. Let's start with the Shadowy Backstreets. And can we surveil into something good? Chthonian Nightmare, I mean, that is going to be an engine at some point. It's not an engine now, though. I'm going to maybe look for another creature, because that is a dead draw until we find a creature. Here we go. So we have an Ocelot Pride. That would have been absolutely nuts if we had Bitter Blossom. We would just be getting a lot of value here. Let's go in like that, put some counters on that cat, and we'll see if they'd like to block with the Oracle. Maybe they unsummon this 3/3. Even if they do that, though, we do get the Ocelot trigger. And we'll end turn here, get that Ocelot Pride trigger. And we are looking strong off the back of this Guide of Souls. So, I mean, really the only thing I'm worried about is going to be a board wipe. If they do wipe the board, they are taking 6, which is half their life. This is all pretty good. Even if I attack with all the little guys, we are in a really, really nice situation. I do get to look 1 card deep with my Marsh Flats. Tome of the Infinite, I don't really know what they're doing here. What is in this thing's spellbook? There is a Swords to Plowshares, Light of Hope, Ponder. Some pretty decent cards in here, including multiple things that are on the ban list in Historic. So we probably don't want Tome of the Infinite to get very much use out of it if we can avoid that. We'll take our Surveil here. What can we find? Marsh Flats, I don't think I need another land, although it would be nice to flip our Awakening Hall. I keep saying flip, but that's really not the mechanic that these room cards work with. It's just a permanent that you pay mana into to have an ability activate. So we have Chthonian Nightmare here. This will, at the very least, give us another attack with Guide of Souls. They might have a Spell Pierce or something here, which is holding a priority, or maybe it's just a Tome of the Infinite activation. So here we'll basically just go with the little guys in. We will do an all attack and then go back like this. I could attack with Guide of Souls and Ocelot Pride, but it would kind of just be an easy block for them. So we're going to basically make some more, one more flyer here. And then I'm going to activate Chthonian Nightmare to, well, actually we don't have anything to bring back, so I cannot. I don't think it's worth it to sack the Ocelot Pride or Guide of Souls intentionally. We already have good enough attacks here. Now they have few enough life points that our Funeral Room becomes a problem for them. They can't wipe this board anymore, and I think that we should be able to just end the game here. Tome of the Infinite, sure. Guide of Souls, Guide of Souls. And now we're just looking to close out this game. This is definitely one that was just very slow and methodical. Really got to do a lot of the things that Aristocrats is trying to do. Put our opponent in a tough situation. So, I mean, they're going to need something that exiles creatures. There are a lot of things that will wipe my board like this. So who knows? Anything could happen. Really thinking about that Tome of the Infinite. I don't believe that gives them really anything good. It could give them Light of Hope that destroys my Funeral Room, and then they can wipe the board, but with their mana, that's not really going to be something that works for them. I think they're just evaluating their options over there, and it doesn't seem like they have a true answer. And they have gone to rope here. They're definitely still at the keyboard looking for something to do here. To me, I don't really see an out here, but maybe it is just going to be Tome of the Infinite. Fine. So they've gotten something. What'll it be? What can they play? Ray of Hope does take out Funeral Room, but I don't think it really matters at this point. Consider. Fine. I don't know what they could possibly have for 2 mana that saves them. We should have it here. Well, there's another white. That entry sound is really, really loud. And it will be Demonic Tutor here. What will Demonic Tutor find them? I mean, a Ray of Light or like Ray of Light type effects can often gain you life, but I mean, what are you really doing for 1 white mana here? They can block and Swords of Plowshares their own Oracle. That doesn't really do much. Here's a Marionette Apprentice. This is essentially doubling up on Funeral Room. So we'll just kind of get in like we have been doing, and we'll end the game. Fabricate 1. Let's make that creature. Oh yeah. Absolute Guide of Souls killage right here. We'll attack with all these guys. Attack with 1 more that gets a Guide of Souls trigger. And I assume this will be the game. 9 in the air. What do you got? And I think we go to damage here. They are going to swords my creature. But that is not going to be enough. We will take round 1 with Funeral Room. All right, nice. We'll take that. It was not a flashy win, but a win nonetheless. Here comes round 2. Okay, let's go. Round 1. Or sorry, not round 1. Round 2. I just recorded round 1. Lot of black cards here. We get Bitter Blossom early. Meat Hook Massacre really doesn't do much for me. I mean, it's something that can sit on the battlefield and maybe make my opponent feel bad about killing my Bitter Blossom tokens. You know, this is really leaning heavily into the Aristocrat sides of things. I am kind of interested in trying it. We got Deathrite Shaman and Larissa the Dream Den. I'm potentially worried here, but we'll see. All right, another Marionette Apprentice. Shadowy Backstreet here. What will we find? Another Bitter Blossom. Do we take 2 of those? Well, they might have another Mishra's Bauble. I will be okay to rock with multiple Bitter Blossoms that they can't block. If they show me a flying blocker, then I'm kind of done for. And I suppose also if they counter my next spell. Mishra's Bauble sees a Bitter Blossom here, which probably I think in most cases will be my next play. I could go Marionette Apprentice, I guess. That means their Deathrite Shaman can't attack, but I think the Deathrite Shaman is probably being used for mana or just exiling something. Let's try the Bitter Blossom. We're here to play Bitter Blossoms. Blood Crypt, they must have Fatal Push or Lightning Bolt here. Or I guess they can also have Deathrite activation. Bowmasters, alright. Meathook Massacre is starting to look pretty good. So we're going to basically cast Meathook on turn 4 no matter what. So I think I will play another Bitter Blossom and then we'll just go to the races from there. This one's going to be a little tight. Bitter Blossom does really dig into my life total. Oh, and now opponents got their first Death Shadow. That's not good. All right, well, whatever has to happen, I suppose. We'll make a 1-1. We will Shadowy Backstreet. I think I am going to go Marionette Apprentice here. We would like to actually deal them a little bit of damage when we go for the Meathook Massacre. So we're going to have 4 total tokens. And I'm a little bit worried. Okay, are they going to kill my token now? Okay, nice. I'm actually glad they did that because me pinging them for 1 would grow the Death Shadow, and then Meathook is not an option. So we will be always making that token. So yeah, we have to take a bit of a hit here, but Meathook Massacre will do pretty good for us. Now that Death Shadow is getting bigger, I can perpetually block it with Bitter Blossom. We're just taking 5. And they'll buy the Luris. So this is a perfect time for me to do what I'm going to do. I think with this board state, I'm just going to Meathook Massacre. This is just too juicy for me. So we go Marsh Flats here. Marsh Flats. Activate. Now, yeah, we're going to die if we don't destroy everything. But then they're going to be able to Luris back, which is pretty awkward. That'll be a Luris getting a Death Shadow, I think. No, they'll have to... They have not enough black to do that. They'll be able to bring back a Deathrite Shaman, and then I'll have to find a way to kill everything. Okay, I think I'm convinced that this is the right thing to do. Here's Meathook Massacre for 2. Alright, so this gives me some life. I think Deathrite Shamans will do some damage here. 1 will make mana, the other will drain me for 2, so I'll go to 6. I'll then get to gain a little bit of life and drain my opponent for a bit. We will gain back 6 life. That feels pretty good. Deathrite Shaman, what are we doing? Exiling either my land or something that deals damage to me. Looks like it'll be my land. Okay, they don't even care about the mana at all. Alright, cool. So Death Shadow. That's nice. Opponent does get to hit me for most of my current life total. Alright, 8 to my 14 life total. We'll then throw some creatures in front of the Death Shadow. Hopefully they won't be able to kill my stuff. And this should be something that we can come back from. We do go to 6, though. That's pretty gnarly. We go to 5. Here's Ocelot Pride. That's pretty huge. Is it... I don't know if I really want to be paying more life for this, though. That's the thing. I think we will do the Ocelot Pride. We have not gained life yet, though, which is the problem. I guess that's going to just be how it is. So if they attack with everything here, we'll make appropriate blocks and then attack with Ocelot Pride the following turn. See if they play the Luris. We're definitely just going like this. Avoid the damage where we can. All right. Opponent goes to 3, then to 1. And I think we actually could have just killed them right there. Didn't really need to wait another turn. Could have just sent another blocker in the way. Cool. Well, Aristocrats, the strategy wins us yet another game here. Have not seen a Dollhouse yet. Hoping that that can change in the next game. Surprisingly, it's the more common of the 2 rooms that we play. We play 4 of the Dollhouses and then just 2 of the other ones. But we have 3 more rounds to make it work, so let's hop into round 3. All right, round 3. Let's go. Here's what we're looking for. This is Dollmaker Shop, turn 2. Yeah, I think I like this. So we can actually go Marionette round 2 or Ocelot Pride into Dollmaker Shop. If that doesn't work, then we just go Marionette into Dollmaker Shop, and then we can Ritual into Porcelain Gallery, or we could try to do the Awakening Hall. I really like this hand. Let's go. I think our hand looks like this so far. Play that Ocelot Pride. Oh, can they counter a creature spell? No, it'll be Tune the Narrative. All right. So this is a potential to trigger Dollmaker Shop turn 1. Or turn 2, excuse me. Show Marsh Flats here. Let's just shock in a Godless Shrine. And let's see if the new Dollmaker Shop is going to be allowed on the battlefield today. Take it, it's getting countered. Aether Spike, sure. Well, no matter, we have Ocelot Pride to get to work. All right, so then this next turn, we'll have 4 mana. We can go, we'll have 5 mana actually. We can go Marionette into Funeral Room. That does feel pretty solid. I can also just attempt a Funeral Room. Because I think more counter spells are coming. And we do want to have the 2 bodies from Marionette Apprentice. Okay, that kind of sucks. If Funeral Room does resolve, though, that is going to be convenient for me. All right, and so now we just kind of continue with the default Aristocrat strategy. Eventually, we can go 8 mana into the Awakening Hall and maybe do our thing that way. Scalding Tarn being main phased here, surprisingly. Whirler Virtuoso, this is not a card that I play against often. This is going to be just a bunch of energy and make Thopters. All right, sure. So I could force them to make 3 1/1s right now, and then we do have a Meat Hook Massacre eventually. I like the sound of eventually doing that, or I like the idea of eventually doing that, so we'll just kind of Marionette Apprentice our way here. Definitely not bothering with the Whirler Virtuoso. Those are 2 words that are surprisingly hard to say together. Let's make our servo here and drop a Polluted Delta. We'll hold our mana till next turn, and we know that we can't attack into that. All right, so it looks like they're going to try to do all this stuff now. Let's Swords to Plowshares and see if they will spend all that energy. They will. That's fine. I also could maybe Meat Hook Massacre for 1, which would be nice. I'd leave my Marionette Apprentice around. All right, Crackling Falls. What's the other side of this do? Just some draw discard, sure. Will they attack with the 3 1/1s? Is this the plan? They will. All right, sure. Okay. Let's get a Surveil in. Godless Shrine, not the move. We'll take our draw. And if we can't do anything, then I think we will Meat Hook for 1. Ritual. This would bring us to 6, 7, 8. We would actually be able to Awakening Hall very, very soon. So I could actually go Meat Hook for X = 2 and then bring things back the following turn. I'll give it a try. So we'll go Meat Hook for 2. Should have attacked prior to this, but it is what it is. Will they counter this? This seems to be as a control, and maybe Whirler Virtuoso is the ender. So there goes the board. Lots of triggers are going to happen. We'll gain some life back. They will most importantly lose a lot of life. All right, we're back to 20. They're down to 11. Hopefully we can finish them off pretty soon. I'd like to see them tap out here to develop their board, and then we can just slam a Awakening Hall and Waken. Is it Generatorium? A Generatorium? Yeah, I mean, this is basically just completely energy. All right, cool. Well, we did what they needed them, or they did what we needed them to do here. Let's see. So 3, 6, 8 with Dark Ritual. I do not need to shock Godless Shrine. So let's writ and get back in there. All right, let's unlock the door. All right, cool. So this one's a little bit sad. It's just 2 creatures, but they are very close to dead if the board gets wiped for whatever reason. So this seems pretty solid. We'll end turn here, and then I think if they attack in, this Ocelot Pride is a huge issue for them. We just need to gain 1 life. Marionette Apprentice goes down. That's fine. It's a little bit of damage here. It's 3, in fact. Or sorry, it's just 2 because there was not another not another Marionette Apprentice. Or it doesn't count itself. Okay, so opponent definitely getting some casual damage here. This would be a great time for a Bowmasters, but unfortunately that is not the angle that our deck is playing. Okay, sure. Down to 7. Prismatic Vista, okay. And they'll attack for 2. We can put him to 5, but I think that attacking with my 1/1 is still a pretty good idea. We are so very slowly getting there. Here's a Dollmaker's Shop. This is going to help us generate some creatures, which I really love to see. And okay, apparently that is enough for our opponent to just say no. I think the end game that we play to here is just attacking with our little servo, making dolls, and then eventually flipping the doll makers and winning the game the way that we want to. So decent round 3. Let's go to round 4. I think we can get it a little bit more clean. All right, here we go. Round 4. Number 45 Mythic here. We got a Grinder, and we're going to see how they react to a turn 2 Dollmaker's Shop. I'm interested. Chthonian Nightmare is going to take another creature to turn on, but eventually we will get there. So we'll go Marionette Apprentice on 2 and then Dollmaker's Shop on 3. Oh, it's like this. Never mind. All right. Here's a tapped Godless Shrine. Say go. All right. What are they on? If they have been grinding, this must be Omni Show. And if it's that, then I don't know if we're really going to survive. All right. There's our Marionette Apprentice. Let's get our token. Yeah, Hedge Maze seems about right. Waterlogged Teachings I do play in my versions of these builds as well. Misty Rainforest, I mean, yeah, I feel like next turn is definitely going to be a show and tell. Were that to be the case, I might just hold Dollmaker's Shop and then just go for the Porcelain Gallery here. We can make sure that we have a Swords to Plowshares for any creatures by playing this. But ultimately, it's just going to be Chthonian Nightmare here. Yeah, potentially a tough situation that we're in. The game could be very much over next turn. The Brainstorm end step. And they're taking a while to resolve this one, man. All right. Can we finally pass through our turn, please? There we go. All right. Is this going to be it? Misty Rainforest cracked on their turn, surprisingly enough. That seems to be a mistake. They will shock the Watery Grave. Here's a Misty Rainforest. I think we are dying to a show and tell here, but we're going to do it with a Porcelain Gallery on the battlefield, so that'll be nice. That will be the show and tell. All right, so let's drop the Dollmaker's Shop. I actually don't know if both of these come in unlocked or not. Yeah, they both come in locked. That's kind of funny. Traxa Grand Unifier comes out, and I think we're going to lose with a doubly locked room on our battlefield. How unfortunate. So Atraxa comes out. We see Show and Tell, Assemble the Team, Dig Through Time. So we go Assemble the Team, Dig Through Time. Yeah, they know what's up. We will wait until they show us the deterministic kill here. I will fetch real quick from Marsh Flats just so that they can start to execute their combo a little bit faster, but I think with their hand they definitely have it. We'll take our Surveil here. If we were to get the turn back, is there anything that we would want back? A Dark Ritual would not be it. Alright. So assemble the team into Dig Through Time, into backup Atraxa. They for sure should be able to get into their sideboard from this. And here we go. There's Demonic Tutor. That is essentially the win. They should probably win in 3 spells here. Mastermind's Acquisition for Approach of the Second Sun into Dig Through Time into Approach of the Second Sun. Easy. Well, yeah, you can definitely grind to wherever you'd like on the ladder with Omni Show, it would seem. Pretty good deck. If you want to see that build, which will be slightly different from the one that my opponent's playing, I did play this a couple weeks back on the channel. With that being said, we have not held up against the meta, but we do have one more round to make it right. Here comes round 5. All right, it's the last round. Let's try to have a good time here. Ocelot Pride, Dark Ritual. This is really not what we want to be doing with this deck, but it does a lot of okay things. If we find another creature, when they eventually deal with my Ocelot Pride, it might be okay. I think that Dark Ritual into Meathook Massacre is not the worst idea. I'm slowly getting convinced that this is an okay move. We do go second, which is unideal, but it is what it is. We will pay 2 life for an Ocelot Pride. And now drawing Marionette Apprentice, I feel a lot better about this hand. Land Tax. Ooh, that's fun. Opponent goes Guide of Souls. Meathook Massacre for 2 doesn't really do much for me. With 4 mana, I can go Marionette Apprentice and Chthonian Nightmare. Sure. All right, we're all set up. So the Guide of Souls is probably going to annoyingly sit back and just chill with Ocelot Pride. Cottontail Caretaker, so we are giving something perpetual discount here. Another white creature card. Okay, well, who knows what they're doing here. Land tax. Well, we'll have to watch the number of lands we play, although they are ahead of us. We'll go Marionette Apprentice again, and really we're just kind of chilling here. We'll take a Surveil right away. I don't really see too much of a reason to do anything else. We would like to gain some life. This is a way of gaining some life. However, we'd just be gaining 1 Ocelot Pride token. 3, 6, 9. That would actually be our 10th. We would get a decent amount of creatures. Then between the 2 Marionette Apprentices and the Funeral Room that will eventually drop, we actually could be doing pretty good. I think that I'm not going to take the Swords of Plowshares. It messes too much with my permanent count. We're prepared to sit and look across the table at our opponent here. Opponent goes 1 ring. We're going to go Funeral Room, and then we're just going to charge up for a big Meathook. All right, Ritual's pretty good. Well, it's actually just okay. It is what we needed for Meathook, but we're still kind of just waiting for something to happen here. So with 2 Marionette Apprentices and Funeral Room and Meathook Massacre, everything that dies is essentially just 4 life. So 4 times 5 is 20. We're actually very, very close. Soul Warden. Healer's Hawk. So they've gone pretty wide here. I think I am just going to nuke the board on this next turn. Yeah, especially because they're doing this. Ooh, Guide of Souls. That's also pretty good. So if I play the Guide of Souls, that might end up just being what I use to start off Chthonian Nightmare. So we'll have 5 mana here. That's enough for X equals 3 on this Meathook Massacre. It's not enough, but it is going to be good enough. He took for 3. That is everything. And cool, let's just kind of nuke everything. Lots of triggers here. We're going to gain some life. Opponent's going to lose a lot of life. Cool, they're at 27. That did 18 damage to them. They're down to 7 with the 1 ring. Now we'll just basically do some Guide of Souls and start to eat them away. So you can go Guide of Souls, get back Marionette Apprentice, get back Guide of Souls. Or get back Marionette Apprentice as well. I'm not sure which one I'd like to do. Land tax is never going to do anything. Oh, Chthonian Nightmare is tough. All right, we'll go for the Guide of Souls. We will go for the Guide of Souls as well. And then we're going to Shadowy Backstreet looking for anything to trigger Guide of Souls. Dollmaker Shop. This is problematic if they kill my Guide of Souls. Let's live dangerously. We actually might not have time. They might die to their own 1 ring. But, you know, we did get a big fat Meat Hook Massacre, which was cool. Alright, 1 ring, sure. They will continue to activate that 1 ring. Here's Delny again. That's fun. Now we have to deal with Heliod. Alright, so they are looking a little scary, especially because Heliod can be activated. Dollmaker's Shop. Now this feels like a way worse draw, honestly. I can attack, that gives me a life gain, but then when my Guide of Souls dies, it feels kind of bad. But then also my Guide of Souls can make itself bigger, which is extremely important. We will do this. We will do that. They will be at 1. Oh, no, they're not going to be at 1. Oh, it's just to get this 1/1 token. Speaker of the Heavens is not going to be on for a long time, but this stupid Heliod thing is going to be such a big problem. They start to life gain heal with the Guide of Souls and Heliod, and I think that opponent has their way out here. Horn of Gondor. Wow, we really are just going for humans here. I always love seeing a Delny deck. Delny is such a cool card. Being able to double up on a really weird class of cards. Everything with power 2 or less. Alright. Heliod doing the Heliod things. The Speaker of the Heavens is going to be absolutely large. So what do? I can maybe just try to survive here. Use my life. That seems like a good idea. Guide of Souls doing its thing. Are we going to block with the doll? Not yet. We might be able to get a little bit more out of it here. Shadowy Backstreet has just really not been the move here. We are going to essentially be dead at this point after flooding out. So I think we'll give this one an attack here, make another doll, but then I think we're going to move on to a re-record for round 5. Try to get one more attempt in at it. Path to Exile, sure. We will take our land. And we have 2 dolls. They're not going to be much of a threat. 1 ring does its thing, and we absolutely get bowled over here. Let's wait for them to go to combat and move to the next round. They had another 1 ring, so they would have been totally fine there. I'm waiting to see a Horn of Gondor activation. They're missing, or they can do it, yeah. And lots of Guide of Souls triggers. All right, there's a little bit too much clicking going on here. I'm going to just go ahead and concede. We'll take the next one and save our opponent a few Heliod triggers. Okay, so, you know, not the best situation for us here. It would have been nice to eventually flip that dollhouse, but opponent went too wide before we were able to. Hopefully the queue will be fast. A lot of new people playing the new set. Should hopefully find something in 20 seconds or so. There we are. Okay, so let's take a good hand. Let's get our doll rooms out. That's 2 Dollmaker shops. Finally a Bitter Blossom that we haven't seen in quite a while. The idea is here that we wanted to work with. That's Bitter Blossom into Dollmaker shop. Ooh, a Guide of Souls is beautiful. So I think we want to have a lot of white mana. I'm going to play this pathway on white. So now if Guide of Souls gets to stick around, then we just go for Dollmaker's Shop right away. If they play a blocker, then we don't do that. All right. So we can't get counters. It was never a thing that we were going to do. I can Ritual into Bitter Blossom plus Dollmaker's Shop, which is what I'd like to do. All right, cool. So this is really what we wanted to be doing with our time here. We don't get energy counters, but we do get to attack a little bit. It's going to be awkward because we can't make things fly. However, we'll be good in our own right, I'd say. Archon of Emiria, only one spell each turn. Good thing that we have these porcelain galleries to just want to do. With 3, well, okay, the Stark Ritual doesn't matter because of Archon of Emiria now. I am probably just dropping another one of these guys, and we'll go Marsh Flats. All right. So we have to wait until this Bitter Blossom token can attack, but pretty much from this point on, we'll be able to slowly get some advantage here. Archon of Emiria going to be a beater. We don't much care right now. We have some tokens. This Chthonian Nightmare is absolutely huge. Unfortunately, our card is exiled. Oh, wait, no, it's not going to be huge because we can't get counters. So we'll attack in here, make some dolls, and next turn we'll be able to flip our Porcelain Gallery. Let's hope they attack in. Here's a Lion Sash, sure. And they have been a problem, or our opponent has been problematic for us, but this is about to completely change here. So I think we're just going to we're going to fetch with this Marsh Flats and then just Ritual into an activation here. We'll take a Surveil, though, along the way. And I think we're finally going to get to do the thing. The Fatal Push is almost really good, but I'm going to actually bin that. We should be good on just attacks alone. All right, Bitter Blossom, make us a token. Ocelot Pride is going to be really nice. We don't have the life gain just yet, so we will have to shock, or we'll have to get something out of this Marsh Flats. I will go like this, and we will Dark Ritual, and we'll activate a Dollmaker thing. Porcelain Gallery, here we are. We have 6/6s that will become 8/8 on attack. Oh yeah, now we're talking. This is what we wanted to do. All right, we finally did it in the re-record of round 5, but we did it nonetheless. That was pretty sweet. Look at that board at the end of the game. Finally, Dollmaker's Shop running out of control. Maybe it was just waiting for me to finally learn how to say its name. Took me 5 rounds, didn't it? But yeah, with that being said, I think that there's something to work with here. Dollmaker's Shop does feel like one of those cards, which is just a very, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it really, really doesn't. I felt that when we did not have a permanent on the battlefield and this thing came down on the Dollmaker's Shop side, it really didn't do a whole lot. And I think a lot of the cases with evaluating new cards like this end up coming down to the fact that you really do need to be evaluating from that worst point that the card can be. And this one does really have a low point of usability. But that being said, I think this was pretty fun here. There is a nice little Aristocrat shell that honestly did outperform the Dollmaker's side of the deck. But I do think that this card could come back in some sort of way. You could do things like wedding announcements, possibly. That's an Anthem after the fact as well. That might bridge your way until you can flip the Porcelain Gallery. Maybe this goes as a 2-of in some other style of deck. I'm going to definitely be doing some of my own experimentation around this. We might actually try to see if we can make dolls work. But with that being said, that brings us to the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you'd like to take my starting list here and iterate on it yourself, do check out the Moxfield link in the video description. And with that being said, thank you for watching the video. Subscribe if you're new for videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you're a returning subscriber, please like and comment. All those things help. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.